It's time for the Budweiser Shootout at Daytona. Carl Edwards, Kyle Busch, Tony Stewart, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Jimmy Johnson are all ready to compete. Here's your starting lineup. Row 1 is going to be Jimmy Johnson and Matt Kenseth. They're going to be followed by Tony Stewart and Kyle Busch. And the third row, it's going to be Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Gordon. They're going to be followed by Kevin Harvick and Greg Biffle. And they're going to be followed by, in the final row, Carl Edwards and Denny Hamlin. Now let's get to racing. And here we go. Fans on their feet, going crazy. The green flag's in the air. The Budweiser Shootout is underway at Daytona. Jimmy Johnson's going to lead them down into turn 1. But the battle's going to be for second between Matt Kenseth and Tony Stewart. As we already have drivers moving up towards the wall in that third lane, being led by Dale Earnhardt Jr. as Kyle Busch now moves up in front of the 88 to lead that line. I know what a lot of drivers are going to be thinking about, even though we're not even a lap into the race, but either getting lined up with your manufacturer teammates or your actual teammates. The 48 is probably going to move down to the bottom lane. Speaking of moving down, the 88 moves down to the middle to try to get past the 18, but he has no help in that middle lane. There's 3 Chevrolets lined up on the bottom. You probably see the 48 move down in front of them, as he does. And Jimmy Johnson's going to lead the first ever lap of the Sunoco Cup Series. As the bottom lane gets a huge run, Kevin Harvick pushes the 24 into the 14 and the 48. Exactly what I was talking about. But you're able to tandem draft. But in the drivers meeting, the officials told the drivers not to tandem draft for more than about 2 seconds. They just don't want it to be too overpowered. And we saw the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. As we make our way down the back straightaway, now Jeff Gordon moves up to the middle lane for literally no reason, as he has no help. But he started in the 5th position and is now running in 3rd. And he's the odds-on favorite to win this race as the field works their way off turn 4. He's about to lose that position to Kevin Harvick. And there's Greg Biffle and here's Carl Edwards. I'm pretty sure he started in the last row, the 5th row. And he's already working his way up to the top 5. Speaking of starting in the 5th row, there's Denny Hamlin. He also started back there, and he's already working his way into the top 5. But Tony Stewart, he moves up to the middle lane for, again, no reason, as he has no help. So I expect him to get down in front of the 29 to keep 2nd position. But the 48 actually moves up into the middle lane. Here's Denny Hamlin. He started, I think, second to last in that 5th row with Carl Edwards, and he's already worked his way up into the top 5 and trying to get into the top 3 as he makes his way up the inside of the 29. But here comes Tony Stewart. He's looking to the inside of the 48, trying to take the lead of the race as we begin lap 4. The 48, I think he's got a pretty fast car. It was fastest in practice, and I think he's just got the fastest car. But here comes the 14. He's on the inside of the 48. These 2 drivers have no help coming from behind them. The 11 moves up to the 24, but they're going to be side by side down the back straightaway. The 48 has a nose ahead. But here comes the 11. He's getting a pretty big run here. The 48 stays clear of the 14, but on the bottom lane, he's going to have a run in the middle of the corner, but he's not going to have the run off. 48 moves up towards the wall, and here comes the 11. He's going to give a huge jump to the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, getting a little loose there. Johnson's going to continue to lead, but Tony Stewart's starting to get freight trained. Speaking of freight trained, here comes 2 Roush teammates of Greg Biffle and Carl Edwards on board with Kevin Harvick. And here's Denny Hamlin. He did start last, and now he's in 3rd with 5 laps. As Kevin Harvick gets a huge run down the back straightaway. Massive run there. Going to just tandem draft with the 48, giving him a huge shove. Gets 3 car lengths in front of the 11 here. And now here comes the 99 of Carl Edwards. He gets a huge shove from the 16 of Greg Biffle. The 14 of Tony Stewart almost made contact with the 29. Jimmy Johnson, he's led literally every single lap right now. He still has a pretty big lead, even though the rest of the drivers are in the draft. It's going to be 3 wide. Denny Hamlin, he's in front of his former Sprint Cup Series teammate of Tony Stewart as he moves back up to the top lane. Off turn 4, everyone jumbling. And a huge push from the 29 to the 11, trying to make his way to the outside of the 48. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. 48 is probably going to move back. And here comes the Roush teammates, the 99, 16. They've been working very well together on the bottom lane. Here they come. Who does the 48 block? He's going to block the top lane as they're going to get the run. So we begin lap 7, almost halfway through this race. Big push is coming from the 24. Oh, there goes the 99. 11 gets tagged. They're going to be 4 wide. The 99 saves it. And no, he doesn't. Oh, Dale Jr. hard into the wall. He's going to spin right up in front of the 18 of Kyle Busch. He continues to spin. Here's the replay. This is Carl Edwards. Let's see what happened. He moves up to try and block the 14. I don't know if he got loose or just wasn't expecting to come up that fast. And he just right hooks the 11. Then they get 4 wide and tags the 88. 88 goes hard into the outside wall in front of the 18. But let's see that one more time. So on the bottom, comes up to block the 14. And yeah, he just turns up way too much. Tags the 11. He spins down very quickly into the inside wall. Let's see how hard of a hit this was. Very hard into the wall there. And yeah, a lot of damage you can see from that angle. And from this angle, you can see it's going to probably be done for the day. It's just a lot of damage. And then Dale Earnhardt Jr., I'm excited to see. Well, not really excited, but let's just see what happened to him. Because he hit the wall pretty hard a few times. Let's see what happened to him. This is from, let's see, from his onboard camera. So he's just racing, trying to avoid the crash. And maybe he got tagged by the 99, and then he just drifted up in front of the 18. Can't really tell from that POV, but throughout turns 1 and 2, he's just riding the wall again. Just hit by the 18. Let's see from the blimp camera. It looks like he hit the apron trying to avoid. I don't know if he got hit by the 99. Kind of laggy, but he definitely drifted up into the 18. But a lot of fugitives there. We'll be back right after this quick break. This race is sponsored by the Samsung Cup Series. Join today. Welcome back to Daytona. Here they come into the restart zone. We're back underway here at Daytona for the Budweiser Shootout. Jimmie Johnson, he's led every single lap today. He's led all 10 laps. He's going to try to lead every single lap. Trying to make history here in the first ever race. So he's going to lead the pack through turns 1 and 2. The 14 of Tony Stewart right behind him. He's going to get cleared. The 29, who's probably going to push on the 17 of Matt Kenseth as he does. He's going to try to get to the outside of the 48 as he does. He's going to be side by side down the back straightaway. See, the 29 just doesn't have a push right now, but the 48 does. The 17 has his teammate of Greg Biffle on the inside. He'll go on board with him. He moves up to the 3rd lane. Doesn't have a push. Most likely go down back into the middle. There's Greg Biffle, his teammate. He's working with Carl Edwards earlier. He's still in the race, I'm pretty sure. He's going to be on board with his 3M machine. We're at turn 1 and 2. Pushing the 14. Down the back straightaway. We go. But yeah, Jimmie Johnson, that car is, whoa. Huge push from the 14 of Tony Stewart. Push both of them way out in front of the pack there. Yeah, that's just how racing with the COT works here at, Daytona and Talladega. We're going to see a lot of that in the Daytona 500. Jimmie Johnson continues to lead. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that today. As Greg Biffle, he now moves up into the middle lane in front of Kevin Harvick, who's a ways behind him. And here comes Kyle Busch. We saw him earlier in the race. He was involved in that crash with Dale Earnhardt Jr. As Tony Stewart moves up in front of Greg Biffle, he's going to try to get past 48. As Greg Biffle, he started 8th, he's now in 4th. As he gets passed by Kyle Busch. 48, he's going to stay in front of the 14. Just those two are working very well together. Just like how the 16 and 99 were working well together before that crash on lap 7. But there's a lot of energy on this bottom lane as the 14 of Tony Stewart, he moves down to the bottom lane. He's about to get a push from the 18, trying to take the lead of the race here. As the 18 moves up to the middle lane to try to get help from the 24. As the 24 doesn't get his help, as the 29 moves up to help the 16. Here comes the 14. He's to the inside of the 48. 48 hit the wall a little bit, and 14 might be clear. can't see from this angle. The 18 moves down to try to help the 14. They're going to be side by side. It's Toyota top performers. Kyle Busch third. Denny Hamlin out of the race, so he has no manufacturer help here. And there you go. He's going to try to make it 3 wide for the lead. Tony Stewart and Jimmy Johnson side drafting each other through turns 3 and 4. Here he comes. Almost made contact with the 14. Are we about to get our first lead change of the race? And no, we're not. 48 is going to continue to lead here. That was close. 48 has no help with the 14, but here comes the 18. He's got to push on the 24, and he's almost clear. 16 hit the wall a bit into turn 1, but the 18's clear. He's clear of the 14 and 48. 99, he was involved in that crash too with Kyle Busch. He's working his way up towards the front of the pack to work with his rush team of Greg Biffle. He's gonna help the 14 here. Push him way in front of the 18, well, not even in front of the 18, but in front of the 48. As he moves up in front of the 48, those two have just been working very well together. Here we come. We're going to get our first lead change of the race. It's official. Tony Stewart takes the lead of the race with 3 laps to go. Yep, we have 1 lead change, but that might become 2 because the 24 just gave a huge push to the 18. And he's going to take the lead here. But the lead change does not become official until you get to the start-finish line. The 48, he just dominated this race. Led the first 15 laps, and he might just not win this race. Quickly things can change with 18 way out in front of the pack here. Comes Jeff Gordon. 99 giving a huge push to the 14. He's going to tandem draft down the straightaways. He can only do that down the straightaways. It's not going to really work too well on the corners. But here they come. 18 very loose. Everyone's all squirrely off turn 4. As they're going to take 2 laps to go. Here comes the 24. You got to push from the 29. And that's going to almost put him right up in front of the 18 for the lead. He's going to probably get in front of him in turns 1 and 2. As he does. So the 24 now takes the lead of the race. Now here they come off turn 2. Does he come up to block the 18? 18 moves up towards the wall. Doesn't have a push yet. But the bottom's organized. 24 moves up into the middle lane to get help from the 99. He saw that run coming. And now here comes the 29. Almost. That was a very, very close call there. 24 could have spun and just overcorrected right back into the field. On board with 18, 1 lap to go here at Daytona. 24, he's going to try to control the lanes here. And here comes the 14. He's going to give a push to the 18. Does he make a move? No, he doesn't. He's going to give a huge push to the 24. Now he moves to the inside. He made that move way too late. The 24 moves down to the middle to come and block. Greg Biffle, he is a little loose off turn 2. It's all 24 here. He's going to try to come up and block the 18. He moves down to the middle, now back to the bottom. Here comes Jeff Gordon. He's the odds-on favorite to win this race. And here they come off turn 4. Harvick trying to get a push from the 18. Here he comes. It's not going to be enough. It's going to be Jeff Gordon winning the Budweiser Shootout at Daytona. Alright, that was a thriller of a race. Anyway, here's your finishing results. Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth, Greg Biffle finishing in your top 5. And then in the back half of the top 10, it's going to be Tony Stewart, Carl Edwards, Jimmy Johnson, and then Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Denny Hamlin both DNFing. But we'll see you next time out for the Daytona 500, the great American race. So, see you then.
Lead company. Chase Elliott is a NASCAR Cup Series champion.